Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? We got a great show tonight. My player partners coming in tonight. Y'all come in, hit the like button, press the one if you can hear me clear. Yeah, so got a real good buddy of mine coming tonight, interviewing him. Gonna be a real good show. Yeah, real good show. So sit back, relax, and when everybody start coming in, press one in the comment section, hit that like when you come inside. Hit that like, press one, let me know you can hear me clear. Oh yeah, bro, we about to go off tonight, player. Hit that one, let me know you can hear me. That one, let me know I'm clear. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk Africa tonight. We going in. This can be a real good one right here. Real good one. Yo, y'all come inside, hit that like, and hit that one. Got a real good show tonight. We're gonna talk about Africa. My partner just did all right, good. My partner, he just did 14 months in Africa. 14 months straight in Africa. He bounced all around, and we finna. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate it. All right, so I'm good. Y'all come hit that like. Yeah, we definitely gonna talk Africa tonight, but we going off. Yeah, man, my partner, man. I was lucky enough to meet him when he was in Nairobi. We hung out for a while, you know what I'm saying? Went to the gym a lot. Real good buddy of mine, travel buddy. He was in after 14 months, all around, all the places I never even been to yet, you know what I'm saying? I've only been to like South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Egypt, Morocco, Ghana, Ivory Coast. But my boy, man, he was everywhere, bro. He went to Botswana, like all kind of small countries I even thought about going before. So yeah, man, we got a real good show. He'll be in a second. Sit back, relax, get you something to drink, and get ready to enjoy, man. Yeah, cause it's good that we compare notes, cause like the flights going around Africa, they aren't cheap, and it takes a lot of money, time, and resources. So you got to figure out which country is best for you. You got to figure out which country is best for you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, looking forward to the show tonight. Yeah, cause we were in Kenya together. We hung in Kenya together. You know, Nairobi. So yeah, I think he went to Ethiopia too. He went to a few countries. Look at his channel, J Focus. Yeah, he went to a lot of places in Africa. You know, so it's gonna be a real good show. I'm still in Kenya right now. Another like week and a half here. Another week here. In Kenya. What time is it right now? In Kenya right now, it's 8 p.m. exactly. It's 8 p.m. So this is gonna be this is probably gonna be my like I'm about to go back to work, so it's my time gonna change up. But when I come back on vacation, that's my normal time. I'm gonna usually do my live before I hit the club before I go out. Like right now, 8 or wherever I'm at. If I'm in Africa, it's gonna be around this time. If I'm in Colombia, it's gonna be more like East Coast time because it's gonna be like 8 to like 11 before I hit the club. Yeah, so it's about 8 p.m. right now, like 8:03 in Africa. Yeah, he been all over the world, you know. So yeah, I think he started out everywhere, you know. So he's gonna break his whole life story down for us and let us know how everything got started. J Focus at this stage. Yo, 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 what's up, player? All
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll be right in there.
right, no problem. Take your time, take your time, take your time.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, me talk to everybody. Okay, so I'm in Jersey. It's 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Big time difference. Yeah, man. It's 8 p.m. right now in East Africa, Kenya. Well, I'm gonna say Kenya because I know it's an hour difference in Rwanda right now. So it's 8 p.m. right now. Yeah, it's 8 p.m. here. Yeah, it's 8 p.m. Yeah, man. That time difference, motherfucker. And that's why, like, when you fly to Africa, you have to give yourself 1 day to recover when you first get hit and you get back home because that time difference it takes some people adjust faster than others, but some people take them a few like you get jet lag and stuff. But for me, yeah. But for me, when I land, I can't sleep. I'm going until I crash. Like, well, no matter what, if I get there 8 in the morning, I don't care what time I get there. As soon as I land, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Yeah. And you know my favorite flight now, especially when I'm going from the US to Dubai, the red eye. That's my new favorite, the red eye. Because you leave like midnight or like 11 p.m. and you get there 8 in the morning. So you slept all night, you get hit the ground running. You still gotta wait to check your hotel room. So you stay at the airport, you get your SIM card, you gotta wait a while to check in. You good. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this show. It's not gonna be a real good show, man. Sit back and relax. It's gonna be a good one tonight. Because but he spent 14 months in Africa, 14 months straight. I wish I could do that. For me, the most I've spent is like 5 months. 5 months the most I've spent straight. Yeah. So yep, gonna be a real good one tonight. But we're gonna compare notes about countries because we've been to a few of the same countries, and some people love it, some people like it, some people like these countries, some people don't. It all depends on the person. But yeah, man. Any questions y'all gotta ask me right now, or any questions y'all want me to ask him? Just put it in right there. Type it in. Yeah.
Think we good to go in a second.
All right, no problem. Take your time to let me know when you're ready.
All right. Pop this out.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we about to cook, man. We about to cook.
Of course, all the time. So yeah, man, let's get it started, man. So tell everybody where are you like from originally?
All right, here we go. Hold on. I'm about to put the
All
camera
right.
on.
All right.
All right, let me get the horizontal joint. I need the one like you. So hold up.
You gotta turn it sideways. Yeah.
I need that sideways vision on them. Hold up.
I think sometimes I do it before yeah, there you got it. You got it. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. No, we can cook now. There
It's
you go.
crispy, huh?
Oh
The video is crispy.
yeah. Yeah, you good. You
No
good.
problem. Let me line it up right. How's the
Oh
audio?
yeah.
Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bet. Do one more thing, and then we can start the show, man.
They say stay focused. They say stay focused.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always.
Hey,
Always.
there you go. There you go. The black expat. What's up? South Africa. I'll say Tinder, Bumble. Yeah, man.
How's the weather where you at right now?
It's still like wintertime in Kenya, but it's slowly warming up.
Okay, so you in Nairobi
So
right now?
I'm still in Nairobi. I'm here for like another
Okay.
week and then I'm leaving. Yeah, it's
Okay,
almost over for me,
cool.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were still around out that way. I know
Oh yeah, I'm about to get.
what's his name? It just left. Zoe. He had just left. So I wasn't sure if
Oh
you were
yeah,
still out
oh yeah, yeah. I'm here for another week. This way, for another week.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right, man. We can talk now.
All right.
It's
I appreciate
live
it.
in
All right,
effect.
appreciate it. All right, let's do it. So we gotta let everybody know, where are you originally from?
Where am I originally from? So I was born on the East Coast, man. So my parents, my mom's side is from Philly, and my dad's side is from East Coast too, but like different spots and stuff. So I was born out that way, but I've lived in Texas, I've lived in California for a long time, you know what I'm saying? So I got a little bit of, I feel like every kind of region of the states. You know what I mean? I never lived in the Midwest. I'll say that. I never lived up to like Chicago area, but like, California, I could talk about Cali all day. I could talk about, Dallas and certain parts, Oklahoma and shit. I could talk about that. I could talk about, Jersey down to Virginia. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of experience in the States before I started traveling. Like a lot of times, you know, you'll have individuals who like they were born and raised in one city in the States and they never really like traveled around their own country and then they hit the road and started making moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where with me, like I know my country very well. So, you know, if somebody has, you know, different questions or they have critiques about the US, I can like address them from the perspective of like I've been there. Like I've been on the ground in these cities in America. I've been to almost every major city in America. And
Wow.
then of course I got the overseas experience as well. Like I haven't just traveled overseas, I've actually lived overseas. Like a lot of people may not know that. Like I lived in Africa for the last 14 months. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. All right.
didn't,
We can get into that. Yeah.
didn't like, you know, have a connecting flight in Paris or Amsterdam, nothing like that. I'm talking about, you know, 10 toes down in the soil the whole damn time. Pretty much the whole East Africa and pretty much the whole South Africa. I got to see a little bit of Central, you know, just a little peek here and there. I lived overseas in Japan, not Japan. I lived overseas in South America for several years. I lived in Europe for several years. So you can't really tell me nothing about Europe. You can't tell me nothing about South America. Now Asia, I've been out there, but I never lived there. You might be able to tell me something
Got
about
you.
Asia, but like everywhere else in the world, you really can't tell me nothing.
So, how did you get into like traveling? Like, what made you like travel for the first time?
That's a great question. So international travel, like I never had my family. Like I know a lot of people in America, their first overseas trip, you know, black people is like Jamaica, somewhere in the Caribbean, like that. You know, they'll go when they're like 14, you know, maybe even younger. I didn't have that experience. The first time I left the country was right after my 18th birthday. I was out in Cali. I was down in San Diego with my brother. And like you know how it is like San Diego in Mexico, like the border is
Oh
like it's
yeah.
almost not even a border,
Yeah.
especially back in the day. Like now, you know, after 9/11 and all that, they kind of tighten things up a little bit, but back in the day used to be able to just cross, you know, the border with like your regular ID, like your driver's license, no passport. Nobody was even thinking
Really.
about a passport. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
bridge, you were able to just walk across the bridge, no car, you know, no inspection, nobody patted you down. It was just you walk over and you walk back like you was walking from I don't know, like Dallas to Fort Worth. It was that close, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. That's crazy.
so seeing that like right after I turned 18, this is like the same week of my 18th birthday, you know, it really opened my eyes. So I went over there with my brother the first time. And then after that, I was like, well, you know, he's busy. I want to check it out for myself, like during the daytime, because we had gone at nighttime. And so I went back and it was just a vibe, man. Like I didn't speak Spanish at the time, but it was like, man, the tacos were off the chain, the music, like the culture, they sitting out there with the mariachi, with the guitars and stuff. I was like, yo, I was like, this is America. Like, I mean, not this is America, but like there's something outside of America because on the news, all you saw on the TV was Iraq, Afghanistan, like, you know, just terrible places. Somalia, starving people, Ethiopia, starving people. Like you never saw pretty much anywhere else in the world that looked positive unless it was like maybe England or maybe Italy. But everything else was like supposed to be, you know, just trash third world stuff. And so having that direct experience, I was like, all right, you know, they kind of like not lying to us, but they're hiding stuff from us. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what else is there to see? Right. So after Mexico,
Yeah.
I was like, well, I want to get my Spanish up, right? Because Spanish is
Yeah.
really useful not only in Latin America but also in the States. And I was like, you know, I want to make sure that I'm on that even playing field. So I was like, well, where can I go where they speak Spanish that's not Mexico? Because I went to Mexico a couple times back to back to back. And I was like, all right, I could go to Costa Rica. I heard it was safe. I heard the flight wasn't far. I heard it was cheap. And at that time, like I had my dad was encouraging me. He was like, yeah, travel, see the world, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna book a flight. You know, I had nobody on the ground. Barely did any research because you know this is a couple years back. Didn't have no Uber back then, none of that stuff, man. So I just landed in Costa
I
Rica.
remember. Don't.
Didn't know a
Yeah.
soul out there, bro. Didn't know nobody. I booked like 2 nights in the hospital. After that, I was just out, bro. I was like, I'm gonna figure this shit out. You know what I mean? If they don't know no English, I'm gonna have to learn Spanish because I'm gonna figure something out here, right? So I had a blast in Costa Rica, man. They showed me so much love. Then I went to the coast. So if you go to the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, they actually speak English because they had a lot of Jamaican immigrants who came there like back in the 20s or something, like 100 years ago. And so they grew up bilingual. They speak the patois like, hey man, you know what I mean? All that. And then they
Yeah.
also speak Spanish, like from the crib, bro. Like from when they were 2 years old, they learned both at the same time. So when I got out there, they
Sweet.
thought I was one of them. And they was like, spitting bars at me and, they patois. And I was like, yo, I don't know what y'all saying. And it would like laugh and stuff. And then I was like, yo, this is cool. I was like, this is a cool ass place. And they look like us, you know what I mean? And then I was like, all right, I could go to Panama. Panama's right next door to Costa Rica. And so after Panama, man, I went wild in Latin America, man. You could not keep me away from Latin America after that. So that's kind of my travel background and how I got started with everything.
All right. So what made you go to Africa for the first time?
Africa for the first time. So the very first time I went to Africa, I was living in Spain at the time. It was my first year. I had just left the States, and I'd only been in Spain for like 4 months. You know what I'm saying? It was just starting to get cold. It was like December, and I was like, oh shit, like I thought Spain was going to be like Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like where they don't have like a real winter. I thought it was going to be like Miami. Like December comes and it's cold, but it's not like cold. Like you don't need a jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe jeans or whatever and a t-shirt. But now I got cold out there, and I was like, man, I want to go somewhere else that's warm. And I was like, well, where can I go that's warm, that's nearby? And, whatever reason, I started Googling and stuff. And I was like, I've done all this traveling around the world, but I never been to Africa. I was like, how does that make sense? But then I was remembering that, like, it's super expensive in the States, especially, a couple years ago. It was really expensive, even coming from the East Coast. Like maybe you could get lucky if you live in DC or New York. You might find a flight for like $500 or whatever to West Africa, right? But other than that,
Yeah.
like if you come from the West Coast to get to Africa, they're going to hit you over the head, man. Something vicious, right? So while I was in Spain, I was like, the flights are so much cheaper from Europe, from Paris, from Madrid, from Barcelona. They got direct flights to a lot of African countries. So it's like, I need to check out Africa, right? And I was like, well, where am I going to go? And there was a homie that I had met when I was in Thailand, Black American brother from DC. And he had receipts. Nowadays they say receipts, but back then we didn't say receipts. So he had receipts. He was like, yo, Africa is a vibe. I was like, man, we out in Thailand. We living it up. We on the beach. I'm like, we could be better than this. He's like, Africa is better than this. I'm like, nah, come on. Bro, I have receipts though. He showed them receipts. I was like, now you got my attention, man. I might have to get out there, right? So he was just raving about Ethiopia. He was like, man, Ethiopia is a vibe. If you come out there, let me know. I'm gonna plug you in with some people. And he wasn't even Ethiopian. He was, Black American, from the Gristle, right? And I was like, cool, I'm gonna do it. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, I'm thinking about taking a trip. He's like, yeah, go through. My guys are gonna be out there. I'm gonna give you the numbers, etc. And this is before, we had these groups online. We didn't have these WhatsApp chats and all that kind of stuff. So, this was only a couple years ago, but this stuff didn't exist like it does now. Like after 2020, man, the Black man traveling space exploded, right? I know you noticed it, right? Because you said the first time you came to Kenya, you didn't see any Black Americans like that, right?
I didn't see no Black Americans. I had a whole 8-year run. I didn't see Black dudes overseas at all. You know what I'm saying? Until I went to Sasua, and then when I went to Sasua, I fell into the whole network of like brothers going to here, going there, and that. But I used to go to Cartagena. I didn't see brothers. I didn't see them in Kenya when I first came in. So yeah, man, it was the same way for me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and nobody was talking about Africa. Nobody.
At all. Because me personally, like I said in my last interview, I got to Africa because I was working and my ship was going to Dubai. We were going to Dubai a lot. So I was going to the Middle East. I was going to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain. And out there, they get the overweight Asian chicks, and the Russian chicks they want too much. So I was always dealing with the African chicks. So I was using Uganda, Nigeria, and I was just meeting all the African chicks. I'm like, man. And I was every time Dubai, like I actually took an actual trip to Dubai. And I was there for 10 days and I only dealt with African chicks. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why am I going to Dubai to talk to African chicks? I knew it. And my first trip was to Ethiopia because because I'm like, I took a trip to Dubai for 10 days. I'm like, why am I going to Ethiopia? Why am I going to Dubai for African chicks? I should just go to Africa.
Yeah,
So that's why I went.
you cutting out the middleman, because it's like, why am I dealing? I'm getting a stepped on product. I want that pure, that cocaina. I want that raw.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely,
So I
man.
was going to ask you, yeah. So what did you learn like 14 months in Africa? Like being in Africa for 14 months, like that's a long time because I only been there for like 4 or 5 months at a time. So
Mhm.
14 months, I mean, you might have to learn a whole lot about just like prices, visas, or just like what do you learn? Like what did you like take from that?
Wow, man, that's a deep question. I took so much from it that I cannot give it all to you. I'll try to give you like a quick little soundbite or whatever, but it's all going to be on my book,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm working on a book. I can't give y'all, I can't give y'all a date of when it's going to come out, because there's just so much information. Like we're talking about, like I said,
Yeah.
14 months of like uninterrupted on the continent. I think it was I think I did 15 different countries, but in total, I've been to 19 African countries. I didn't go to all of them again on this trip, right? But most of them I
Yeah.
repeated. I repeated a lot of countries on this trip. I've been to Kenya 3 or 4 times. I've been to Uganda 3 times. I've been to Rwanda several times. A lot of countries I repeated, but then there were a lot of new ones for me as well. So some of the ones that I did for the first time, uh, were ones where the language was really different. So you're going to see that on my channel. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, you're going to get to see a country that almost nobody really goes to. It's called Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde in Portuguese, right? And this is a country where they still speak Portuguese. There, it's a black population, but they kind of have the Salvador Bahia, Brazil kind of mixed mulatto thing going on. So this is a place that a lot of brothers are curious about. I got so many questions for months. Bro, are you going to go to Cape Verde? Are you going to Cape Verde? Yes, I went to Cape Verde. The content is coming, man. Just be patient, man. It's coming. I think you guys are really going to like it. I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm going to do a live that's going to just be dedicated to Cape Verde. So anybody have any, anything you want to know about it, I'm going to break it down in that live. So I got to go to Cape Verde. That was my first my last Portuguese speaking country in Africa. The first one I went to was Mozambique. And a lot of brothers don't go to Mozambique as well. Um, that one is a mixed bag. I went to Angola as well. That's another one that's not on a lot of brothers' radar. And I will say
Right.
this, that if I didn't have the language skills that I have, I wouldn't have felt as confident going to these places, because a lot of them, English is a very limited thing. Unless you're in like the highest end places, a lot of times folks don't speak English. So it's kind of cool that I was able to bridge my experiences in Brazil and learning a little bit of Portuguese there, and getting that to carry that with me over to Africa. You feel me? Because
Yeah.
it translates. Like if you learn Brazilian Portuguese, you're going to be good in Africa with those countries where they speak it as well. I just wish, honestly, that there were more countries in Africa that spoke Spanish, because, bro, I'd be on easy mode, man. I would just be coasting. Because, yo puedo hablar sin problemas. Puedo hablar español. It's no problem, man.
Crazy, crazy. Hey man, I really wish I went to Ivory Coast though, man. 'Cause you speak French. I mean, do you speak French?
I do, man. I do. And so I've been thinking about it, man. I think Ivory Coast is going to happen. Now, I have been to Burundi. Burundi is a country that a lot of brothers sleep on as well, and you do need French there. It helps a lot. Burundi is right next to Rwanda. So if you like
All
the
right.
Rwanda look, the people in Burundi,
Yeah.
they have the same look as in Rwanda. They're just divided by, the border, more or less. It's like Americans and Canadians almost, like more or less a white
Gotcha.
American with a Canadian. It ain't really no difference like that. It's the same with
Gotcha.
yeah, same deal.
Yeah, I was just there. They're beautiful one. They're tall and wide hips. And I want to ask you
Mhm.
something too. This is a tough one. What's your favorite country in Africa? City, country. What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
Everybody asks me this question, man, on every live, and how do I answer that, man? Like to be
It's
honest,
tough.
yeah, it's super tough, man.
It's tough. I know.
Because there's no country, and I know you'll co-sign this. I know you'll co-sign this. There's
Yeah.
no country that has everything, right? It's like you gotta always, it's giving and take, because you have one country where you'll be like, damn, the weather there is crazy. The exchange rate is really good. But then you'll be like, I'm like, the attitudes, right? And then you have another place where you like the attitudes, the weather's cool, but it's hard to get visas, or it's hard to get Ubers or something. Like there's always like a couple elements where you're like,
Something.
I can't really give you the crown. You know what I mean? Because you
What's
like
your,
this close to the crown.
what's your top three? No order. You don't got to give them in order.
Yeah,
Just show
yeah,
your
yeah,
top three.
for sure. Okay. That's a lot easier, man. Top three, no order. I'll get the easiest one out the way because everybody's expecting me to say it, and I'm going to say it. So I'll get Kenya out the way. This is in no order. I'm not saying Kenya's the best, but I'll get Kenya out the way. So that's one. All right, so I got two
There you go.
left. I got two left, man. Wow. I'll say Namibia. I'll throw Namibia in there. Not saying it's number two. I'm not giving it an order. I'm just throwing it in there. And then, man, it's really tough. Maybe South Africa. But like I
All
said,
right. That's
this is
solid.
not in order. I'm not ranking these, but these are three that I feel like they don't give me everything I'm looking for, but they give me like, let's say 70%. All three of them give me like 70% of what I'm looking for, but they're all missing that last 30, and it's different 30 for each country. So yeah, I'll put it to you
Because
like that.
I would do the same. I would do Kenya, South Africa, and Ivory Coast. So
Yeah, I haven't been to
probably the
Ivory
same thing.
Coast yet, but you talk about it so much, I gotta go there, man. It has to happen. I don't know when, but
the only problem is just like if it was cheaper and I can't speak French, but the culture, like I haven't been to Paris, France before, but in my mind, that's how Paris is because like they listen to the French music, they dress like that. They have like the Ghana, they wear like the more conservative African clothes, but in Ivory Coast, they'll have the like African clothes, but they'll be like the hat will be to the side and the shirt will be skirt and it'll be opened up, but it'll still be African like colors and stuff. With the bees, with the red bees and stuff. It's a swag. It's a swag I never seen before nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? And the energy is crazy. All right.
I'm
So
curious. Okay, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say real quick. I'm curious. In Ivory Coast, is it hard to find women who wear their hair natural?
No, it's some natural. It's some natural chicks, but it's just like but it's just like South Africa. They're just like they're more polished. You can find girls that have natural hair, but they're just more polished, like South Africa. But they're polished, and they're still like West African, and they're French, and they're polished. So those three things together. I never seen like a polished and the West African look and the sexiness. Because in Ghana, when they wear the traditional clothes, they're more conservative. I mean, South Africa. I seen a sexy version of it in South Africa online. I haven't seen it in person, but over there, you'll see them. They'll be in the African clothes, and they'll have it like looking like a South African girl, like short and open with the top to have this. Like the swag is crazy. It's different.
I'm curious, what are the attitudes like there? I know you have the language barrier, so you're not going to be an expert on it, but in general, do you get a sense of like that? Like, what do you think about the attitudes in general?
So my experience is that for me personally, I can't speak French. All the English speaking people are really, really close. So that's the only country where I had a Nigerian homeboy and I had a Nigerian kind of girlfriend too out there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the English speaking people are really close out there because French is so hardcore. And it's a big like pro scene out there too. But like if you can speak French, I don't think there's a whole lot of like it's not that hard to speak. It's not that hard. I feel like in English is more like game in English. A lot of other countries, if you can speak their language, it's not really like as hard. You know what I'm saying? And my partner Jess went over there and he had a good time. He said he was having a good time with regular chicks. So if you can speak French, you don't have no problem. The only thing is like when they realized I couldn't speak French, it was only two reactions. It was only, why are you here? Or it was like the funniest shit in the world. They'd be laughing at me. I go to the liquor store every day. They'd be laughing like pointing at me and talking like he can't speak French. They thought it was the funniest shit in the world, man. It was funny, but it was cool. Everybody was cool. I was in zone 4.
Okay.
I made sure I was in zone 4, and I was in the walking distance. It was cool. It was a vibe, and it was just the most interesting place I've been in Africa. It was pretty much like Ethiopia, like culture-wise, but they had the French influence, so it's more like it wasn't as conservative. It was like you get the cultures from Ethiopia without the conservativeness. And I
Okay.
never seen that word. I never seen that. I never seen that nowhere else in Africa, not even in Ghana. Because in Ghana they're conservative too.
Let
Until
me
the
ask you
night,
this.
until nighttime. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. What is the beach culture like there? Did you spend any time at the beaches in Ivory Coast?
When I went to the beach, it reminded me of like somebody like Diani. It was beautiful, but it was quiet, chill. It was just dudes chilling out. They
Mhm.
had a chick with them. It wasn't like a. It was nothing like America or Latin America. It was just like
Okay.
it was beautiful beaches. The water came out really high, and they were beautiful. They had nice resorts. It was just like couples and people chilling. It wasn't like Latin America or like America or nothing.
So let me plug this real quick because this is one of my videos that blew up, and I'm gonna tell you, I gotta plug this one, man. Angola.
Yeah, yeah.
Out of all the countries I've been to in Africa, 19 or whatever countries, the beach vibe in Angola, nobody has touched it, man. Nobody has come close. Now I was in Mombasa not long. I didn't go to Diani. I was in Mombasa though. I went to the beach and kicked it, but the vibe in
Yeah.
Luanda on the little island, they have this little strip. It's called the Island of Luanda. But if you're in the center in downtown, you could be on the island in 12, 15 minutes. It's like right adjacent to the city. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Okay.
Miami and Miami Beach. If you ever been to Miami, you know what I'm saying? Like the beach is on that little strip. It's like that. It's the same thing. It's just this little island. And so over there, it's lit. I'm telling you, every time you could go on a Tuesday and it'd be just a vibe, man. Every time. Like I felt like I was in Brazil. So for me, that is the gold standard in Africa as far as beach vibe. I want to go back. You
Brazil.
know what I mean? I really do. Like I really
Really?
want to go deeper into the country the next visit. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video, check that one out. It's at like 100K right now. It's going crazy, man, because a lot of people don't know about it, and it's going to be our little secret. You know what I mean? Don't blow it up too much, but it's
That's
fun, man.
what
It's
I
a
do.
good vibe.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, all right, I'm asking this: what was your least favorite country, or your least favorite few countries in Africa that you did enjoy?
That I that I didn't enjoy. Oh
Oh,
man.
didn't enjoy it as much. Didn't enjoy it as much. Oh, this was too much problem. Visa,
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
around, the language.
No,
It
okay,
wasn't
nah,
more of the
it's an
language
easy
barrier.
one. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy. This one is easy.
All right,
Just remember
all
it
right.
because, like I said, there's so many countries. It took me a second. Like, because even when you asked me my top three African countries, I forgot about Ethiopia, and I said Namibia, and I take that back. I would put Ethiopia above Namibia. But going back to the question, the worst African country for me was Mauritius. A lot of people probably
Mauritius.
never even heard of it. Yeah, Mauritius. You heard of it?
Nah, you're right. I never heard of it. No, you're right.
So Mauritius is this little island country, and it's on the east side of Africa. So you got Kenya, then you got Madagascar, and then after that you got this country called Mauritius, right? And so
Uh-huh.
Mauritius was colonized by both the British and the French. So it's very unique. So the language they speak is like French Creole. That's what they speak between each other. But everybody and their mama knows English. Like all their words and like the government stuff is in English. So it's weird. Like they'll like if you say what's up, hey, they'll speak to you in English, but then they'll turn around and they'll be speaking like French with the next person. It's really weird, but their English is perfect because they were colonized by the French. But that being said, the people are like it's like 60% Indian there, maybe 55%. But the majority of the people, they look like Indians from India because that's where their heritage came from. Then you got like the Afro Mauritians, but they're like, let's say 25%. And then I guess in between, you just got like mixed of white and mulatto and everything else, right? But they are so discriminatory there. I've never been anywhere in the world where they treated me like they treated me there, man. I mean, it was just like mean mugging me at immigration. Like I showed up, I gave them my American passport, and they was looking at me like, I hate to say this because I'm not shitting on y'all, but it's like they looked at me like I gave them a Nigerian passport. Like, like what are you doing here? That's how they like treated me. They're why are you in our country? I'm like, it's obvious. Like, you don't see all these stamps. I'm a tourist. Like, bruh, I'm not here to steal no jobs from you. Like, relax, homie. Don't nobody want to be here like that. I'm just here to shoot content or whatever. And he's like, how long you staying? You know what I mean? Let me see. He called the dude up. He was like, I want to make sure. I'm like, bruh, like this is excessive, bro. It's crazy. I've been all over the world, man. I've been to Europe. They don't do that in Europe. They don't call up the person you're staying with and like look at you like you a liar. And it would have been one thing if it was just the immigration dude, right? After immigration, they have a health check. The health check person was rude to me. Like, how you gonna be rude and you checking people's health like their vital signs and shit? Like, she was rude. She had an attitude. Then after that, I go to like the customs where you get you get your luggage and then you got to go through. They was talking to me crazy. After that, I thought I was done, right? you slide out of the airport. Then I went to get a SIM card in the airport. She talking to me crazy, rolling her eyes and shit. I'm like, bro, they do not like black people out here, bro. So I would recommend nobody to go to Mauritius, especially if you're black, but nobody. Nah.
Yeah, that was bad. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad you.
technically,
Yeah, I'm glad you warned us. Yeah.
and technically it's an African country, technically, because they're part of the African Union, but they don't act like it. They act like they want to be part of the Indian Union, bro, because yeah, it's crazy the energy. Now I will say this. Once after the first day, once I got into the city and stuff and was dealing with people, the average person wasn't an asshole. I'll say that. The average person was pretty cool. But like just the introduction to the country, and it wasn't just one, it was one after the other after the other. Like, why are you in our country? Get out of here. Like, and there are some Nigerians there. And I went to this one restaurant and they was kind of like saying the same thing. Like, yeah, they don't really mess with us like that. They don't like seeing black people here. So that was by far the worst African country. By
All
far.
right, that's cool. That's cool. All right. So now I want to know who do you think has the best food? In Africa? What country did you have the best food experience? Like hands down, the best food in
Man,
Africa.
you know what? Nobody's ever asked me that question. So now I actually got to think, man. You got some good questions, man. You came prepared. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
I know I
uh,
know I was late. I know I was late. I should have been prepared, but it get like that, man.
nah,
The
you good.
best food. I will say this. I was shocked how good the food was in Namibia. I was shocked. I won't say that's the best food, but I was shocked how good it was. Like everything I had was seasoned so well. And like I had stuff across the board, like from the traditional like African stuff to like some of the like more international cuisines that they did there. Everything, the seasoning was just really on point there. Um South Africa, the food was all right too. But to me,
Yeah.
Namibia like surprised me because nobody's going to Namibia thinking the food's gonna be fire and like everything was fire.
Yeah.
It was cheap food too.
All right, cool.
In East Africa, it's tougher, man, because you know me, man. I love my Jamaican spots.
Yeah,
You know
we
me.
went to one. We went to one. We went to one. We went to
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
always, bro. Always. If I'm in East Africa and you're looking for J Focus, you just gotta find your nearest Jamaican restaurant because I will be up in there. And I'm not Jamaican.
Chilling,
You know,
chilling, chilling,
I don't
chilling,
want y'all to
chilling.
think I'm Jamaican, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. Like the ones that throw it down, they can really throw it down. Like to me, the best Jamaican food I had in East Africa was in Kigali. You know, Kigali, they be chefing it up, man. In Tanzania, it's pretty good too. Kenya, I hate to say it, y'all gotta step your game up, man. Every time I had Jamaican food in Kenya, man, it was not the business, man. I wish it was. I wish I could tell people come to y'all spot, but I haven't had anything worth even talking about, man. Nah, not out there. But
Hey, I can't even defend Kenya, bro. You're right, bro. I can't even defend Kenya. You're right.
yeah,
You're right. I can't even defend Kenya. But I'm gonna tell you mine. Though. I'm gonna tell you mine. To be fair, for me, I would say Tanzania because they had the most like I would have random places. It would just be seasoned I never tasted before. It just be random flavors. Like I'm like this tastes good, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what the season is, and it just tastes so good. It's so new. But besides Tanzania, I would say the farmers market in Johannesburg. Not
yes,
everywhere, but just the farmers market. The farmers market in Johannesburg was good, and I ate at some Nigerian restaurants
yeah,
that
that
that,
too,
that had good food.
that too.
Like
South
I
Africa
don't
has
know.
some
I
good
never been to
Nigerian
Nigeria.
places. Yep.
Yeah. I never been to Nigeria, but like they're actual like restaurants. They serve
Mhm.
great foods and farmers market in Johannesburg. Ooh, it was man. Hey, that farmers market. I tell everybody if you went to Joburg and you didn't go to farmers market, you went to Joburg.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And you know what? You just reminded me too, man. Uganda actually has some really good food.
Really,
I mean,
really.
they got some real good like international stuff, like because they have Africans from everywhere. So like, it's easy to find an Ethiopian restaurant in Kampala, easy to find Nigerian restaurants in Kampala. And the local stuff is pretty good too. I mean, at the malls, like the everything I had in the malls in Uganda was really good. Like, what's his name? Mark Meets Africa. We did a video where we were just like eating, and the food was just incredible. Like, we were surprised. And Uganda too, the prices are really good for what you get. Like, if I go out with me and another person or whatever, usually spend like $20, and everybody's eating good, man. Full, good portion size. Seasoning is right. So I got to give Uganda credit too for food.
All right, cool, cool. I'm about to. You know what? I had a few. When I went there my last time, I really enjoyed that much. But I had a few friends that just went there and they had a great time. So I'm gonna probably
Mhm.
have to redo Uganda. I'm gonna redo Uganda. But yeah. So where do you think is the most opportunity in business in Africa for like the diaspora, or like Black Americans, to like as far as like coming there doing business, getting the visa easy, and just what do you think is the most like opportunity for us to like build our wealth in Africa? 'Cause, after being here, it's hard to get visas, and like a lot of places got a lot of crazy
Mhm.
rules and stuff. So I was
Sure.
just wondering, like, for the business wise, like, what do you think would be like the best? Because you've been to a lot of countries way more than me and spent more time. So I was wondering, what do you think is the most like opportunity for us to build wealth?
That is that has a lot of parts to it. I mainly,
Yeah,
when I'm traveling around, I'm looking at the real estate opportunities. And if you know about the laws in Africa about freehold land, pretty much the only African countries, if you're trying to do like generational wealth type thing with land and properties and stuff, the only countries in Africa that have freehold land are going to be the Southern African countries. And that's going to be Namibia, South Africa, I believe Botswana, and maybe another one. I forget the other ones. You can Google it; it'll pop up right away. But it's mainly Southern African
yeah.
countries that have freehold land. So if you're thinking of like, okay, I'm gonna do what my grandparents did back in Alabama or Mississippi or wherever, and like this was great grandpop's house, that kind of a thing that just stays in the family forever. You're gonna want to look at those type of countries. Now, if you're thinking of just other countries, they do 99-year leases. So,
Like
that's
Kenya.
your
Yep.
exactly. So that's like that's your kids and your grandkids. But past that, it's not gonna, you're gonna go over 99 years, right? But if you're just thinking of
Yeah.
just those people, then you could pretty much pick anywhere. I would say, as far as like professionalism and ease of doing business, you're gonna want to go with stable countries in East Africa. I would say, not saying there aren't other opportunities, but I'd say the most stable ones for real estate would be Kenya and Rwanda for me in East Africa. Now, Tanzania is interesting, but I don't know enough about Tanzania to really speak on it. I don't want to speak on things that I don't know as much about, right? But I do know a lot about the Rwandan side of the market, and I do know about the Kenyan side of the market being very stable, prices being good. And a lot of Black Americans I know personally are investing in these places, right? Now, in the southern part, places that I mentioned that would be good would be Namibia, South Africa, Botswana, very stable. They all have, like a common currency, more or less. They have the ZAR, and this whole region. I forgot what the name of it. The Southern African states. They peg it so like 1 to 1. So if it's 1 ZAR in South Africa, it's 1 ZAR in Lesotho, it's 1 ZAR in Eswatini, and so on and so forth. So yeah, you want to invest where it's stable, where they respect the rule of law, and those are going to be the countries that I mentioned. There are some other good ones that I didn't mention, but I'm less knowledgeable about those, so I'm not going to really speak on those too much.
I got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
Because go ahead. You go ahead. You finish
oh
first.
no. I was going to say beyond real estate, like if you're looking at specific industries, then it really depends on country, and you're going to want to have a lot of time on the ground. I know there's some brothers who have been very, very successful getting quick yields with farming, but everybody and their mom is not cut out for that. But in Uganda, there's a lot of money to be made in farming. Same thing with Burundi. I know personally dudes who go back and forth from the states to these places, and they're making bank. But like I said, it's not for everybody, and it's more of a like a hands-on kind of a thing where you're going to need to have contacts on the ground, and there's networks for that. But uh, that's something you would need to do a consultation with me for.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Back to the Kenyan thing. I was kind of worried about that too. But I had a lawyer out here. He was pretty much telling me that the 99-year lease thing is
Mhm.
pretty much an imaginary number. And when you hit 99 years, you go to the government and you process it. You pay a fee, and you get another 99 years. So
Okay.
I mean, that's my lawyer told me. So just to but yeah, man. But you're right. South Africa's the only place that you can own it like freehold.
Yeah,
So
and
all right,
and
now I've got all
and
the
I would
serious.
say
But
I was just gonna say, just to piggyback off of what you said, yeah, like I wouldn't let
yeah,
that 99-year thing scare you, because like I said, that even let's say it is 99 years, that still would cover you, that would cover your kids and most of your grandkids' life anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, don't even worry about that. You know what I'm saying? We'll be flying in the sky with robots in 100 years, so don't even be tripping,
Yeah,
man.
they
Just
don't
go
need-
ahead. If you see something you
yeah.
like and it's
Hey,
property in Africa, just grab it, man.
exactly. And 9 9 years, hopefully they be looking at the video. We won't be here. But
Yeah.
all right, now we got all the serious stuff out the way. Now we want to get to the nightlife. You know what I'm saying? Like your
Okay.
top three favorite nightlife in Africa and why. We're gonna break it down, and I'm gonna get some pushback or tell you if I like it or not too. You know what I'm saying? Like your favorite in Africa so far, hanging out.
Okay.
I know you're not a club person, but just the vibe, the energy too, like the beach culture.
Sure.
It can be either or the club or beach culture, whatever.
Okay. So, man, I'm coming back to the classics, man. The classic ones are classics for a reason, and those are going to be South Africa and Kenya. You know what I'm saying? Those they have a nightlife culture that's the most similar to the states. Certain brothers, myself included, have been to other African countries. I'm not going to say any names, and you hit the nightlife, and the ratios is crazy. You know what I mean? It's a lot of dudes. You know what I mean? It's a lot of dudes in a nightlife scene in certain African countries, but you won't have that issue in Kenya, and you're not going to have that issue in South Africa whatsoever. Um, like I said, the beach vibe for me in Angola is incredible. It's nothing like it on the continent that I've seen personally. And so to me, I would put that up there. They have a nightlife scene as well. I didn't do that one as much, but it's kind of in the same area on the island. So I imagine it's just like the daytime, but just like turned up to like another level. So yeah, those would probably be the top three. If I had to throw another one in there, if we take that one out, where else would I throw in there? Hmm. Maybe Tanzania. Maybe Tanzania.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
On the weekend, Tanzania is lit. Like from like Friday to Sunday, like from Friday and Saturday. That little script right there by Samaki Elements. To me in Africa so far, that's the only like party script in Africa I love so far. Yeah, like you know the Latin countries like Medellin and Cartagena. I've been to Brazil. I haven't been to Rio though. You got the little area where you can walk up and down and just feel like it's a party going on everywhere. I feel like that little square was the only place in Africa I had that feeling that even though it wasn't really that big, but it was like from Samaki to the warehouse to Elements, that little strip you can like walk up and down. And it's like a bunch of
Yeah.
clubs and everybody outside. Only on the weekend though. Only Friday and Saturday. From
Yeah,
Monday
that's
to Thursday is dry.
yeah, and that's cool the way they got it set up, like where it's like zoned just for nightlife, where it's not like a residential area where you just cross the street, there's one venue, you walk a little bit, it's another venue, and he's right, that's really unique in Africa. It's not something that you're gonna see pretty much anywhere else. Like even in a city like Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, it's gonna be like club here, then like way down here, then way down here, but there's just one area, and that's all that's really there at night. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would put that in the conversation for sure.
All right. So if you had to compare the nightlife between Kenya and South Africa, how would you compare it? Like enjoyment, the price of hanging out, the looks of the women. Like how would you compare the nightlife in Kenya to South Africa?
Okay. So I didn't really get to go too deep into the South African nightlife, not like I wanted to
All right,
do.
all right,
So I
all
I
right.
spent more time in the Kenyan nightlife, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say, I mean, they're comparable. I think it's maybe less ballerism, for lack of a better word, in Nairobi. I mean, they're not flexing as hard. I'll put it like that. Yeah, they flex, but it's not as hard. Like in South Africa, they're flexing a lot harder. Would you agree?
I definitely agree, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have to agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah,
see the
I spent a
Porsches
lot of
out. You'll
time
see
there.
the Lamborghinis out in South Africa. Yeah, they big boy toys out there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I forgot what club it was. Right there by Rosebank Mall. I went there and yeah, they go hard. They probably like this is like America. I was like when I first went there, I was mad I left my jewelry and everything, man, because I'm like, man, they going hard. Like you don't gotta, you need all that stuff. And then I had like I was going to a bar, some sports bar. It's like everyday spot. Like they have hookah, and dude had a Lamborghini downstairs. I'm like, man, he got Lamborghini, have a chill spot. Yeah, so, yeah,
Yeah.
Johannesburg, they go hard. They go hard, bro. They go hard. So yeah, I definitely agree. I tell everybody personally, like I don't want to oversell nothing. I'm like Nairobi is like more like a college vibe, and Joburg is like America. It just our money is worth more. Our money is worth more. Our money is worth more, and they a little, and we get 1 point for being American. We get 1 point for being
Yeah,
American,
yeah,
and our
that's
money is worth
important.
more.
Yeah,
We get
yeah,
one
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Only
They
one
like
point
the
though.
accent. They like the accent.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Only 1 point. Only 1 point. All right, cool. Yeah, that's not like so. All right, now we're getting the women.
You
So
gonna
we
get
go
to
to the
you gonna get to the cash right there? Do
all
send in
right.
a question.
Oh yeah, he said tell him to visit Senegal so we can compare it to Ivory Coast. You go to Senegal, bro. When you go to Senegal?
I was there, bro. I didn't post the video yet, but I was in Senegal recently.
Oh, but you should go to you should go to Ivory Coast. So, yeah, but all right. So we
Yeah.
gotta. So when you come back, you gonna have to compare Senegal to Ivory Coast
I
after you
think
do
they're
both
very
of them.
I think they're very different because Senegal has a lot of conservative Muslim influence, and then you know Ivory Coast has a lot more French influence. You feel me? So I think they're going to be
All
very
right,
different
all right,
experiences.
all right. But when you do both of them, you got to start doing them comparison videos now because you one of the few people who've been to a lot of different countries now, so you have to start doing them comparison videos because everybody want to know what's this. Should I go to Ghana? Should I go to Kenya? Should I go to Nairobi? They gonna want that from you.
That's a good idea, man. I'm going to have to write that down and do some more of those. I did one of my biggest videos was Kenya versus Uganda, and that
Oh
one
yeah, I remember the old one. Yeah, it went
everybody said
crazy.
I
Yeah.
was fair. Everybody said I was fair. The Ugandans, weren't mad at me. They said, yeah, everything he said is facts. Kenyans weren't mad at me. They said everything he said was facts. So yeah, I think people respect that I'm being honest. Like I'm not biased one way or the other. Yeah, I mean, at
All
first I
right,
did have some comment that was like, man, he's really from Kenya. That's why he said that. I'm like, come on, bro. If I was, I would just say it.
all
Yeah.
right, all right. So out of all the countries after you've been to so far, where do you think is the best place for somebody to go if they want a serious relationship?
Okay.
Or top two. Serious.
Serious relationship. If you're talking about a relationship that's going to lead to marriage and some kids, it may not be for everybody. So I'll say this is for me. Certain cultures might be too conservative for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm able to recognize that I'm very unique. I have a unique background, maybe a unique like viewpoint on the world and like how I think certain things should be. So for me personally, I think Ethiopia would be a good fit. When I'm there, I feel like, so I'll put it like this. I've been in like 19 African countries. I feel like I blend in maybe like four of them, where I'm saying I could walk down the street and like visually, they can't tell I'm not from there. There's probably like four African countries where I could really blend in. And I would say that would be South Africa. For sure, I could walk down the street, nobody would know. If I don't say nothing, they won't know I'm not South African. Ethiopia is one. Namibia, kind of there. I can blend in as well. And then it's like one other one. I can't think of it at the moment, but you know what I'm trying to say. Maybe four or five. But in Ethiopia, for sure, I can blend in there. And to me, that's really important. If I was to have kids and settle down with a woman, it's not the only thing. You know what I mean? Who cares if they could? I'm still black. Like no matter where I'm at in Africa, except in Mauritius, right? I'm too black for
Yeah.
their ass. I'm way too black for them. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Like that familiarity is really cool about Ethiopia. And I like the fact that they're kind of conservative. So for me personally, if I was going to do like a long-term relationship and settle down, it would be one of the top countries for me. Maybe not the number one, but definitely in that top, right?
Oh, all right.
Another one I think is depending on your personality, could be good for that would be Rwanda as well, because Rwanda is going to be boring for most guys coming from the West. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You know what I mean? If you
I
like,
was
if
born. I was
you, if
born.
you
I
used
was
to
born.
Colombia, you used to Brazil, if you
I
used
was
to
born.
turning up and you just see like pictures online of beautiful women and you think, oh, I'm gonna arrive, it's gonna be that same kind of an energy. Like now it's a completely different type of energy. But if you are maybe an older dude, or you just looking for one country to settle down, like not a vacation, like, okay, I could see myself living in Africa, it could be a good fit for certain type of people. Also, as far as finding a wife, I feel like, at least for now, they're not so exposed to the world. Of course, you know, it's going to depend on a woman, and you're going to have to vet them no matter where you go in the world. But I don't feel like they have as much Western influence. You don't hear them using American slang like you might in Kenya or you might in South Africa. You feel me?
I'm telling my girlfriend. I'm
So
telling my girlfriend stop saying that shit, man. Every time stop talking like American girls. I'm just
yeah,
stopping.
man. So yeah, I think those are two. Oh yeah, I can't forget this one either. Tanzania. That's another one where you could definitely find you a wifey, because it is still a very overall conservative culture. Now you do have pockets of, like, fun and party and tourist zones and stuff like that. But the culture overall, it's still very traditional, like where most wives are going to be at home. They're going to be cooking for their man, and it's not even like something to think about. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like they would they would look at you crazy if you weren't doing that. One of their friends wasn't doing that for their husband. You know what I'm saying? So that would be another one that I would have in that conversation.
All right, cool. That's what's up. And I got my homeboy can't pronounce his name. He was like, "Why is no one going to Nigeria, guys? Come on." You answer it and I answer it.
Is he
You answer
from
the
there though? Is he from there?
probably,
Yeah.
probably, probably. You're probably.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm gonna give you the real. I'm not gonna give you the politically correct answer. So
I'll go
the
after
way
you. I'll be real
the
too.
way
Go ahead.
the way I view Nigeria is, it's a huge country. It is the biggest country in Africa by population. There's not even another country that comes close. Second one is Ethiopia, right? So to go to Nigeria for me is like going to India, you know what I mean? Or going to China. Like, these are just huge countries where you show up as a foreigner, like you're just an ant, and you gotta go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Nigeria does not have the infrastructure that's really set up for tourism like that. And of course, you could find it, like, especially if you have contacts on the ground, you got homies, you got cousin, whatever, whatever. Like, that's a whole different experience. But I feel like just showing up to a mega city like Lagos, I think it's like 20 million people. Like, that can be overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? And that's a project that I wouldn't take lightly. Like, that's not a place to just, I'm gonna pop in there for 4 days and then pop out. Like, Nigeria has no visa on arrival. You know what I'm saying? So I think you got to factor all of that in when you wonder why we're not going there. Like, if they had a visa on arrival, I guarantee you the numbers will go up. Guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, not even a
I'm
question.
about to cook too.
Um,
I'm about to cook right after you. When you finish, I'm about
Yeah,
to
yeah.
cook.
So I mean, I could go even more, but those are my main points. Number one is no visa on arrival. I could go to South Africa, I ain't gotta show nothing. Kenya, I gotta register, but they'll give me a yes in like 8 hours or something. Like, it's crazy how fast they give you a yes with Kenya. Uganda, same
Yeah.
thing. Like, you gotta pay, but it's super quick. Like, there's no visa process. Like, I gotta mail something or go to DC. Like, it's not complicated in most of these countries. So the more complicated you make it, of course, you're going to get less people going to these places. So that's my first point. And then number two is just like, it's just too big. Like, it feels overwhelming to me. I'm not saying I'll never go there, but at the moment, like, I could save that for another country. So those are my two main points why I haven't been there. How about you?
Oh, for me, man, it's that visa, bro. I'm really tapped in. I had a bunch of homeboys try to get the visa, and I actually know some people who couldn't catch their flight, couldn't take their trip, they had to cancel their trip because they couldn't get their visa. You have to show your bank statement. You have to do an interview in the US. I don't know how you would do it without going back to the US. Because the process I heard is super hard getting a Nigeria visa for one. I heard it's really, really hard. So for me, the visa, and I don't even say Nigeria, the entire West Africa, for me personally, those were the hardest places to get a visa. Like Ghana, if I knew I had to mail my passport off to get a Ghana visa, I wouldn't have went. But I was already like, I already had my trip planned. I had to go there and fly here. I had like $1,000 flights to go from here to here, and I just couldn't change it. So I didn't even know I had to get so I had to mail my passport off of Ghana. And what I'm saying, so and Nigeria visa is even harder. So for me personally, it's the visa.
Yeah,
And I go to Dubai. Go ahead.
oh no, I was
You
just
go
gonna
ahead.
just gonna say this real quick and let you
Yeah.
continue. It's funny too. Like, in West Africa, the two easiest countries to go to are the French speaking ones. Senegal, no visa at all. You just show up. Same like you do in South Africa. Yeah, Senegal, you don't need a visa, and then Ivory Coast, you don't need a visa. But go ahead.
All right, yeah, yeah, and no, I don't know if they changed it in Ivory Coast, but when I was leaving Ghana, going to Ivory Coast, I actually missed my flight because I got my visa too early, and they said
Okay.
like, it was already old. I had to get a new one, so I had to get a visa to go to Ivory Coast. I don't know
Okay.
if they
Yeah,
changed it
they
recently.
got rid of it, I believe. If I'm not
Oh,
mistaken,
cool,
they got rid
cool.
of it.
Oh, cool. Because I want Ivory Coast made me want to learn French.
Mm.
Really, like, I really enjoyed Ivory Coast, bro. I really enjoyed it, but it's like that French, like, man, it's like that's one of the places you went. Like, I just know I would have a better time if I can speak the language. And it's
Mm.
such a vibe, bro. It's such a vibe. Even just everything was just it's like a whole other world. It was like going to Ethiopia. It was like going to like a liberal Ethiopia.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, from the pictures I've seen of Ivory Coast, man, it looks very developed and like clean and modern. It looks very interesting, like a very unique like flavor, like Afro, I don't even know what you call it, but it looks nice, man. It looks very nice.
All right. All right, cool. So anything else you want to bring up about Africa? Or like I didn't ask you, or like you didn't touch on, or about your 14 months in Africa. That's a long time. That's a long time that you learned, or
Yeah, man.
anything, just anything.
So there were a lot of challenges that were off camera, man. I didn't show a lot of stuff because I don't know, man. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing and like, sharing my life. Like I like to share some things, but like you can overshare, this people from like, the younger generations, like if you like under 25, man, you be sharing stuff nobody cares about. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes be like,
Yeah.
dudes be like whining, you know what I'm saying? Like about every little thing that happened. So I missed my flight. I'm gonna do a 2-hour live because I missed my flight. Like, it's just a different generation or whatever. So like a lot of things happen to me on camera that I don't put in I haven't put in videos. Like I'll probably put it in the book, like when I released the book about my travels and stuff. But yeah, man, there's a lot of stories, a lot of details. And then of course, YouTube with the censorship, there's certain escapades that I got into out in some of these countries that, would have been too spicy for YouTube. So I'm gonna have to put my Patreon out. I've been saying it. It's a work in progress. I got to give me some time because I don't want to start it with like one video. I want to have a couple of videos ready to go when I start my Patreon. So that's going to come eventually. What else can I say about Africa? It just surprised me. Like every month when I'm like, okay, I kind of figured Africa out, like I would see a new corner of it. Like I like purposely, I tried to do a bunch of, what was I going to say? Yeah, I tried to do countries back to back in a certain order. Like I went directly from Mozambique to Angola because they both speak Portuguese, even though they're not next to each other. I had to fly across the whole Africa because they're on opposite coasts. But I did it like that on purpose because I wanted to be like unbiased because my mind was already in the Portuguese mind. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna fly over to Angola, still be in the Portuguese mind. And then I'm gonna come out of it and then hit up like Tanzania and some other things. And yeah, man, it's just there's just so much because had I never been to Angola, I would have been here saying like, man, the beach scene in Africa is just not the business. You know what I'm saying? Or like had I
I'm still saying that. I'm still saying that. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel you.
or like had I just gone to Rwanda and Uganda, I would have been saying that, the nightlife scene in Africa is just too many dudes always. You know what I'm saying? That would be my perspective. And it would be true for what I've seen. It would be a limited perspective. But now like my perspective is so much bigger. Like I've seen a little bit of West Africa, I've seen Cape Verde, I've seen Senegal, I've seen almost all of East Africa, I've seen the majority of Southern Africa, even the little ass countries. So yeah, it's just so different now. Like if I'm outside of Africa or Europe or something, okay, I'll add this. This is something that I didn't think would happen. Is like I started to be able to see the difference between tribes, which is crazy, as a Black American, because the minute if you're from Africa, the minute you land in the States, you basically just Black or you just an African. You know what I'm saying? Unless you like say I'm Nigerian, right? Other than that, you're Black or you're African. That's kind of the boat you fall into. Maybe we'll be like, all right, he's Senegalese, but we definitely not cutting you up into tribes and all that type of stuff. Hell nah, not in America.
Yeah.
We're not even trained to look for that because we don't look for that in each other. You know what I'm saying? But like I was in Namibia for over a month, and they would tell me like, okay, this person is this, and they'd be proud of it. They'd be like, I'm this, I'm this. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I'm just saying it's interesting, right? For an American, for a Black American. And after a while, I would be able to see it. Like I would be able to guess, like, oh, they from that tribe, or oh, they from that tribe. And in Kenya a little bit too. I'm starting to see it. Like, oh, they're what's it, Kikuyu? Is it Kikuyu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Then they have to
okay, you
lose.
probably Kikuyu. Like, yeah, I think you are. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, because in the States we don't really have nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? You could be from, you could be from Georgia, you could be from California, you could be from Chicago or whatever. And I mean, yeah, people look a little bit different, but I mean, you can't just look at them and tell. You know what I mean? Because everybody's kind of mixed. Because even if you're from Chicago, like your grandma's from the South anyway. You know what I'm saying? Probably.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool. Hey, bro said, Jay, man, you can't go to Africa and not go to Nigeria. Africa isn't complete without going there. If you think Lagos is too much, go to the Abuja. I'm gonna say this though.
Okay.
My homeboy Willie, bro, he used to love South Africa. He was like my one. I saved his number under Willie that loves South Africa. Like, that's what I got him saved as.
Okay.
And he came on my line the other day. He said he married to a Nigerian joint from Abuja.
Really?
So
Okay.
whatever. So hey, something out there, bro. He married. Like, you got married, like, bro, for real? But like, it's crazy. So yeah, might need to check it out, man. Nigeria might shock you.
Yeah, one of these days, man, it'll happen. I mean, man, there's so many countries to go through.
So where are you at right now?
Right now, I'm actually I'm in a little island nobody heard of. Yeah, I don't want to get too off topic, but I'm in a little ass island. Nobody heard of this island, bro. If I say the name, nobody knows it. It's
Oh, dang.
yeah.
I got you. Yeah, we done did Africa, bro. We can do everything now, bro. We done did Africa. You know what I'm saying? So we can do whatever, bro. We can do whatever, bro. Like
Okay, for sure,
Colombia,
for sure.
all right,
Yeah.
Asia. Because I never been to Thailand before. I never been to Thailand, but I want to go to Thailand one of these days. I've been to Philippines. My father was he was ex-Marines or whatever. So my first actual vacation overseas was to go visit my father in Angeles.
Oh, how old were you?
Shit, I'm like 40 now, so I was probably like 32
Oh, okay.
or something.
Oh, you wasn't
32.
small. You wasn't like a
No,
teenager.
no,
Like,
no, 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 no.
oh, okay. I
I
was
went,
gonna
I
say,
went, I went out to the party, bro. I
I
didn't
was
know
gonna
what I
say,
get myself into, but
if
but
you went over there as a teenager, it probably would have like your head would have exploded. You'd be like, "What is America now?" Like,
yeah. I was already a wild dude. I was already a wild dude. But
okay,
yeah, but that being said, man, I always want to go to like Thailand is on my list. But the love I got for Africa, and now I'm investing. I got a girlfriend out here now. It's hard for me like to break away and go to other
yeah,
places. Especially Thailand because I get like Dominican Republic and Colombia easy before I come
mhm.
over here. But like going to Thailand is gonna be kind of harder. But I want to do Thailand. Have you been to Thailand before?
I've been there 3 times. Thailand is a vibe, man. Thailand is one of my favorite
You like
places.
it?
Yeah, yeah,
What
for
you
sure.
do you like Bangkok better than Pattaya? Or which one you like the most?
I like it all, man, because like when I go, so I've been there 3 times. Every time I went, I never stayed in one place. Like I would do maybe a week in Bangkok, then I would do like maybe a week in Pattaya, then I would do a couple days on the islands because they have there's Koh Phi. Koh Phi is one. There's Koh Tao, which is the scuba diver island where they have turtles. There's Koh Phangan, which is like the hippie party island. Like I do all the
Oh
islands. So
man.
like, and there's Koh Samui as well. Koh Samui is like the resort island. So yeah, man, Thailand has a lot. You got your mainland, then you got Chiang Mai up in the north. I've been up there, man. Like there's so many different lanes in Thailand, which is why I see why people like it. Like if Thailand was just the island part, then it probably wouldn't be as popular. If it was just the mainland Bangkok, then it probably wouldn't be as popular. But like within Thailand, you have everything, man. You like I said, if you think Bangkok is too hot, you hate hot weather, you can go up in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? Where Chiang Mai is, it's much cooler up there. So yeah, there's just so many lanes in Thailand that the whole world is there. Like honestly, man, you got Russians there, you got Brits, you got French, Americans, obviously, Australians, obviously. It's like their backyard, man. Like the whole world just comes together in Thailand. For me, Thailand is like Bangkok is the New York City of Asia. Literally the whole Asia is there on some. I mean, from Bangkok, you got flights to the Philippines for like $50. You got flights to Malaysia for like $50. Singapore, you name it. Like it's just the hub of everything. So as much as I don't know, like like I said, it's one of my favorite places. I've been there 3 times. I know there's going to be a 4th time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I could live there, but as far as like a real cool vacation where you can do whatever you want to do, whether that's like you just want to chill in one city, like and just do the party scene. If you want to make moves, like it's just got everything. It checks so many boxes, man.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it's definitely on my list, man. I've been on Asia. I only went to I've been to South Korea. I go to I'm a sailor, so we talk about Busan, but I
Mhm.
went to Busan though. So wouldn't that lit? I heard Busan like Texas Street. I've been to Japan a while ago. I've been to Singapore and just the Philippines. I've been to Angeles and Subic Bay and stuff. But Thailand is definitely on my list. And a lot of people don't know about it. I want to do Indonesia, Jakarta, man.
I've
It's
been
on my
there.
list though. I want to go. I've never been because I feel like nobody been there. Really? How
I've been
was it?
I've been there,
Jakarta.
man. Jakarta is cool, man. Well, Jakarta is cool. I could give you some game about it offline too. It's
I bet. Give
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
the PG version now. The PG version.
Yeah. Jakarta's cool, man. It's not gonna be for everybody. It's hot. It's hot as hell. It's definitely not as developed as Thailand. Like Thailand is easy mode. If you've never been to Asia before, you can just pull up. Just like South Africa. You never been to Africa before. You can just pull up, and everything is accessible. Like, of course, the culture is a little bit different, but everybody speaks English, and like things just move the way they're supposed to move in those places. But Indonesia is still behind when it comes to that. Vietnam too, it's different. It's definitely a culture shock when you go to Vietnam. That like you are not in the West anymore, and they do things different, and you know, it's a whole different vibe. I'm curious. I wanted to ask you though, man. You've been to Korea. I've been there, but I just transitioned. Like I was in the airport for like 8 hours. I didn't do anything. So I'm curious. What were the attitudes like in Korea? Did you feel like the local people were giving you a lot of attitude, or like being strange because you're black, or you didn't feel that at all?
Uh, well, so I'm gonna be honest. So when I was there, I was working. I was on the ship, and I was only
Mhm.
there for like for 1 day to 2 day at a time. I've been there like maybe like 4 or 5 times, but it wasn't long. It was like 1 or 2 days at a time when I was there. And when I was there, it was lit. But I feel like they wouldn't even pay me no attention out there. I feel like when you in Japan, it's like Japanese only because on sailors, we're not going to Tokyo and we're not going to big cities. We're going to small cities. So I'm hitting like
Uh,
small cities in Korea and small
uh,
cities in Japan. So people got their Korean and Japanese stories. I'm not talking about like Okinawa and Tokyo where Americans are cool. I'm talking like the small cities. So in
yeah.
Japan they'd be like Japanese only. Korea they'd be like
Mhm.
Koreans only. They smile and say Koreans only.
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying? And then like so it was like so I was there briefly. So then you go to the red light and stuff. You have to get somebody to talk for you. Like you have to get
Mhm.
like your taxi dude to like
Wow.
have like a 30-minute conversation.
Damn. Okay. You
And
need
then
translators.
they'll and then but I wasn't in Busan though. Busan is for the
Mhm.
sailors. That's our home. And like in my world,
Mhm.
Busan is like that's where we go at Korea because that's where the
Mhm.
sailors go at. It's a place called Texas Street. And Texas Street, that's where all the party and the craziness go at. But I went to Musan, so it's a smaller city. And yeah, man, you have to get the taxi. You got to talk for you and stuff, and then they'll bring you the oldest chick. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to handle the black guy. You know. So like it's like it was cool, but they
Yeah.
didn't look at me weird or nothing. It was just cool though. But I want to go to Busan though, because for us
Gotcha.
in my world, in my sailor world, Busan is like the biggest thing in Korea for us. I know most people never heard of it, but for us, we talk. And Busan is all like our Pattaya in Korea.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny, man, because you said the Japanese only thing, man. I got hit with that before. It was pretty wild to experience that because I was like, oh, this is what like Jim Crow must have felt like back in 1968 or something, where they're like whites only in this place. But you know what? I at first like I didn't like it, but like I understand it now. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just because I'm black. Like, it was anybody who's not Japanese. Like, they'll do that to a Filipino. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I saw them do it to white dudes. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's like, it ain't just about, me.
yeah,
It's just they
yeah,
want to keep something for them. And I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel good, but I understand it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. When I was going to Japan, like I got X only so much. I got used to it. So one dude was laughing in the club when he saw it happen to me. He kind of, I guess he felt sorry for me, whatever. So he spoke English.
Uh-huh.
So he came over. He came over and talked like hey yeah, hey yeah man. He like man, pretty much over here, you gotta speak Japanese or you gotta have a Japanese friend or they're not rocking with you. This is
Yeah,
like you know
I
what I'm
heard
saying.
that.
He broke it down to me like I hear if you got a Japanese friend, you cool, or you speak Japanese because in their mind they're like if you don't speak Japanese, they don't even want to like have a conversation, argument, or they don't even want to
Yeah, it'd be too awkward for them.
they don't
So
want
it's
the
not
headache
worth it.
like you like
Yeah, it's
they
not
don't even
worth
want
it.
the headache from talk because like you know what I'm saying like if you don't so pretty much what he was telling me it was more like you got to speak Japanese or you got to have a Japanese friend, which I
Yeah.
experienced in a smaller city where I had to do the Thai dude talk for me and like
Mhm.
they talk things out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So
I kind of
yeah,
get it
man.
though.
So
'Cause, like, just imagine, you know what I'm saying, you're a bouncer or something, and you're in like shit. Like, let's say you're in New Orleans and you're a bouncer, and it's a bunch of Russian dudes who only speak Russian, and they trying to come up in the club. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to explain to them like, hey, you can't come in here with a hat like that, and he's speaking Russian to you, and you can't even explain to him like, no, you can come in, but just that. So it's just like you don't even want the hassle on some level unless he's coming in with an American. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
if we flipped it like that, yeah, I can understand it.
that's cool. That's cool. Hey, so let's talk about Latin America, man. Everybody love Latin America. So where did you live at in Latin America?
So I lived in Argentina in South America, which is the last country when you're going down. I also spent a lot of time in the Dominican Republic. I never lived there, but I spent some time there, and a lot of time in Mexico. I probably spent after Argentina. I probably spent the most time in Latin America in Mexico. I think I've been to about 9 cities in Mexico. Mexico is huge. If you've never really explored it, never been there, you got Mexico City, you've got Monterrey, you got obviously Cancun, Playa del Carmen, in the Quintana Roo area. Then you got Tijuana, you got border towns like Laredo, you've got what is it, Guadalajara, you got Veracruz. Like there's so much you can see in Mexico. You still there?
Yeah, I'm
You
coming
get
out here. I'm coming
oh,
right
okay.
now.
Okay, you just put your camera off for a second. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm right.
All right, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I had to make a quick run real quick. But yeah. So the question of ours, the Latin women, all the brothers, they all get the exotic Latina chicks. What
Yeah.
made you leave the Latina countries and started going to African Asia? What made you leave the Latin countries? Like what was what was the problem over there?
So for me, it wasn't like a thing where I went to Latin countries and I got dissed or anything like that. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna pack up my bag and go. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just circumstances, man, because my first love was Latin America. Um of course, there are things about that culture that are anti-black. Same thing with most Asian countries. There are things about the culture that are anti-black. Now, you can definitely find a lane in almost any Latin American country. Of course, the major ones like Mexico, DR, Colombia, Brazil. You can definitely find a lane there and assimilate, learn the language and stuff as a black man in these countries and thrive. To a limit, to a certain extent. But like in Africa, it's like there are no limits. You know what I'm saying? Like the president looks probably similar to you, more similar to you than he does to a white man or to a Chinese or Indian. You feel me? Where in
Yeah.
Latin America, it's the opposite. You know, everyone in power, like the higher you start going up, you don't even got to go that high to keep it 100. Once you go to upper middle class, like they're not only light skinned Latinas, they are like literally white. Like a lot of them, they have pure European blood in a lot of Latin American countries. And so that race class system is very strong and it's still very present there in a way that, you know, it just doesn't factor in Africa like that. So, so yeah, it wasn't like a thing where I got, like I said, where I got dissed and I got sent from Latin America to to Africa.
Of course not. Of
I didn't
course
get,
not.
I didn't get chased out. Nobody chased me out of Latin America. You feel me? And I still, you know, there's still lots of things I like about Latin America, and I'll go back at some point. Who knows when it'll be? It could be next month. It could be next year. I don't freaking know, man. It's wherever, you know, the winds blow me. Pause.
Hey, I feel you. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, I
Yeah.
still love Medellin, bro. I love Medellin, and Sasua. It's not about girls. Sasua. I like the brotherhood out there. I
Mhm.
know Flip Flop. That's my partner. DJ Khaled, the dude we call that. Like he got a little restaurant, but like we go to Sasua Beach. I feel like that's only the one like a cool beach area that caters to black dudes.
Mhm.
So so like for me at this point, like I don't like Sasua because of the women. I like Sasua because like the brotherhood
The
and just when you
community,
go
yeah.
there, you feel at home. You feel at home and like you go to some hotels, it's all brothers and they all cool. I heard the vibe change a little bit, but back when I was going, you wake up in the morning, everybody be like, "What's up, bro?" You see what they be like, "It's a vibe." Like older black dudes just vibe, and it was cool. It was like at one time it was like a vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoy
Yeah.
that. But I still love Medellin, and I do plan to go back to Medellin though. But I'm my hand on swivel. But yeah, man. Hey, we got to say, hey, Jay is no passport, bro.
All right, welcome to the channel, my guy.
Well, he already knows, bro. He already knows. He
Yeah,
already
man.
knows.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, man, Africa
this
is
the topic.
special.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say that to finish the end of the question, to the end of the answer is that, yeah, man, you know, I love Latin America still, like it's my first love or whatever. Um, but Africa was really what I needed because I told you I discovered Africa when I was living in Europe because it was cheap, like the flights, the proximity. It wasn't even that it was cheap so much; it was more the proximity of it, and I was missing it. Like I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like in the States, if you're in any like medium sized city in America, there is a black community somewhere. You know what I mean? Even in the places you think it's no black community, like in Maine or something, there are a group of black people, right? But in Europe, you know, a lot of places, you know, unless you're in Paris, unless you're in London, unless you're in Amsterdam, those places, yeah, there's tons of black people. But where I was at, there were not a lot of black people. So I miss seeing black people, honestly. Like it was, it sounds crazy. Like I would see, you know, in a
I
week,
believe you, bro.
I might see like 4 black people in a week or some shit like that. So I was like, please get me around some people that look like me who got my hair texture and stuff. So yeah, man, because you see the hair growing out, and they don't know what it is. You know, I had the little starter locks when I got out there, and they're looking at like, what's he doing with his hair? Um, so so yeah, when I got out there, it just felt good. It felt like I was connecting with you know, the ancestors, as corny as that sounds, but like there's something special about the first time you go to Africa, especially if you go to a black city. If you go to Cape Town the first time you go to Africa, it's not going to feel anything special. It's going to feel like you went to, I don't know, Hawaii, another part of America. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to a real black city for your first time, like Nairobi, you go to Accra, you go to plenty of them, pretty much anywhere except Cape Town. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere where it's like overwhelmingly black, like Johannesburg, even somewhere overwhelmingly black, you're gonna feel like, wow, I'm at home. You know, these are where my people are from. So yeah, it's just something special about Africa. So it's gonna be hard to keep me away from the continent for any amount of time.
All right, cool. Well, Dina, that can now turn in what's your favorite three countries? Period. Not Africa, nothing. Your favorite three. There's no Africa no more. This be everywhere, bro.
Favorite
No
three.
bias. Hey, you ain't got. Hey, you ain't got a
It
lot of kick for me.
changes.
You know, I
So
love
the thing
thinking.
is, man, it
Go ahead.
changes all the time. It's like somebody asked me, what's your top 3 favorite rappers? You know what I'm saying? I mean, one of them's always going to be in there, but then the other two is always going to like depends what day you ask me. You
Shit.
know what I'm saying?
It
Yeah,
change every month, every week, every
exactly,
year.
man.
Depending on what you're feeling
It
for.
might change
Yeah.
from Monday to Wednesday and be like, oh, I forgot about him. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. But I'll just give you at the moment the first three countries that pop into my head. My favorites. I'll say DR, honestly. And I'm not saying it's my number one, but I'm saying it's in the top three. And I haven't even been there in like 10 years, but
You love
it was
DR?
one of my, yeah, I haven't been there in like 10 years, but it was my first love. It was like really my first love as far as countries after Mexico. Mexico was my very first love because it was my first country. But then after that,
All
like
right, all right.
DR, the first time I went there, like something clicked where I was like, yo, this is different, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say DR would be in my top three out of the whole world. Not saying I would live there, but then where else? I would have to say, ooh, man, that's tough. Because I'm gonna have to leave something out.
That's the
Ah,
point,
man.
player. That's the point. That's the point. That's the point.
Shit, man. Shit. It's hard. I'll say Thailand. I'll throw Thailand in there because, like I explained, it's just got so many different things there. And I feel like when you go there, they're just so respectful. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not stupid, they're gonna respect you. And then the third one, I gotta throw somewhere in Africa in there, and that's the hardest part. Man, let's just say Kenya because it's easy. We'll say Kenya. So I say
There you go.
DR,
There you go.
I said Thailand and Kenya. Those are
There
some
you
of my
go.
three.
There you
Yeah.
go. The kids gonna love you for that, bro, because they watching, bro. They're gonna be if you just them, bro. They're gonna be on you, bro. They listening, bro. They listening, bro. You say
I'm
something
not
straight,
even
they gonna
worried
be.
about that. I'm just being honest, man, because if people want to bring
I
smoke, I don't
can't.
even care, man. It don't even matter to me, man. I'll laugh
You don't
about it.
care.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, man.
Yep.
But yeah, man. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else we can talk about. Oh yeah, Brazil. Let's talk.
Brazil.
So you lived in Brazil?
Nah, I never lived in Brazil, man. I've been to Brazil 3 times, and they weren't like super long trips. Like we talking about like a month each time. But in that month,
Yeah.
I covered a lot of territory. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been to the southern part of Florianopolis, where it's like super white. I've been all the way up to Salvador Bahia, which is like the Atlanta of Africa. I mean, of Brazil. I've been to in between places like Recife. I've been to
Let's see. Let's
Rio.
see.
Yeah, I've been to Rio. Everyone has to go to Rio. I've been to. There's another one too. I've been to, but yeah, I've been to a couple Brazilian cities. Yeah, and I got to practice my Portuguese out that way. Um, yeah, Brazil is interesting. I haven't been in a long time, just like DR. Like I kind of left Latin America alone because I was like, if I keep going to Latin America, I'm never gonna leave. Like I'm gonna mess around and have a kid, and then I'm gonna just be Jay in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be Jay in DR. You know what I mean? That would have happened 10 years ago. That's the headspace I was in. So I told myself I have to keep moving because otherwise I'll just be here. Like it already has so much that I like. Like I'll never see the rest of the world if I just stay in those places.
All right, that's what's up. I'm gonna tell my Brazil story after this. And he
Okay.
said, How old are you? How old is Jay? And how long have you been traveling?
I'm old enough to get it done, and I'm and I'm good enough to do it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
Hey, good answer.
how long?
Good
How long have
answer.
I
Good
been
answer.
traveling? I've been traveling like since I was 18 internationally, but before that, pretty much my whole childhood and stuff, we were always moving. Like we never kind of stayed in the same spot. So like I say, I've been out in California for a long time, Nevada as well, Texas as well, East Coast as well. I've been all over the place, man.
Cool. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna take back to Brazil. In
Yeah.
Brazil, I only been to Santos and Recife. And I
Okay.
remember I went to Recife like maybe like 14 years ago, bro. And
Damn.
I remember when I first got I went to Recife, I was like, that's when I realized I didn't know shit and it was a big world.
Yeah.
Like that was the moment. You know how like I never been to China before, but I've been to the airport in Hong Kong, but I never seen the big cities in China. But I realized if you never realized it was like 8 big cities in China or Brazil that's just like New York, you wouldn't realize like, bro, it's like cities that these countries got like 3, 4 cities that are just like New York that you never heard of. You can't pronounce the
Exactly.
name.
Never heard of him. Hmm.
You're like, so when I went to Recife, I was like, man, this is a big world. And that's when like the light bulb was like, man, that's when I realized like it's a big world.
Yeah,
That's when it
absolutely.
hit me. So that's all Brazil really did for me because I really didn't get a time. I never been to Rio before. I only been to Santos. And in Santos, like we were in the ships, we got a club that's only for us, the sailors. We go to that one club like by the port. They kiss our ass, they cater to us. So we didn't really like venture around the city.
Yeah.
And I met this chick one time, and she was cool. She was like, "Listen, if you don't talk, they don't think you're from here. If you talk, they might rob you." So just I
Mm.
went in the projects. I went in like a project complex in Brazil, it was like a low income housing, like 1 bedroom apartments and stuff. And when she was right, I walked through the front and there was a black dude looking at me.
Yeah,
I
they be
glanced at
looking.
him, looked away, and I didn't say nothing. And I walked upstairs. Right, I'm like, oh shit, I'm in a fucking like a building in
You
Brazil,
live
like
in a
a
movie.
project building.
You
Yeah,
out
it
here
was like
like
a
James
high rise
Bond.
too. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I was excited, bro. Like, oh man, I did it, man. Like right now, well, I probably never do it again, but man, yeah, man, it was. So yeah, I I wouldn't mind to go to Rio and just experience like the beach culture there. You know what I'm saying? Just so I enjoy the brotherhood. Some dudes, those places is not about girls. Like some things those countries have besides girls. You know what I'm saying? Like the Sudan
Mhm,
brotherhood, and like
mhm.
Rio, they got that beach culture that's unmatched. That beach
Yeah,
culture in Rio is like I never
yeah.
been there, and
You can look.
I already know it's unmatched.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you can look around the whole world. You're never gonna find that beach culture like in Rio. It's just exclusive. Miami is not the same. Anywhere you name, it's not the same. It's just special. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. Yeah, man. Well, shit. Ladies got something else to say, man. We can close out. Tell them where to meet you at your channel, and you know what
Okay.
I'm saying? No, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I got any questions. Let me pull up the
Oh, any
computer.
questions, bro? We take you. Any questions, bro? We good. We
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
We
Anything we missed? It's called Elected Luanda. Yeah. Let's see what's good. Uh,
yeah,
okay.
I read it,
Yeah.
bro. I read it, bro.
I didn't have too many big questions here. Oh, okay. It says GL said, will you still bounce around in Africa or you have a country you would make your base? That's the like $1 million question, man. But for right now, I still haven't cracked that one. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of candidates as far as where I could put up as a base. Not only in Africa, there's other places that are close enough to Africa where I could get cheap flights all the time. Because I know a lot of brothers in the States, they may not, it might not be realistic for them to live in Africa full time. But if you're on the East Coast, DC, New York, or whatever, you can get direct flights some of the times. Even Atlanta, I think they have a good amount of direct flights to the motherland, to the continent. So yeah, I'm just looking at every angle where I could spend at least 6 months in Africa for the rest of my life. Maybe not the whole year, but at least 6 months in Africa. I don't think I could survive less than 6 months of the year in Africa. Less, from here on out, I think at least half the year I want to spend on the continent. Maybe not the whole year, but half the year for sure. Because there's different ways you could do it. You could do like half the year in a place like Thailand, because you have different visa restrictions and stuff too. So you have to really do your research about this stuff. That's why I haven't quite put down like a settlement anywhere because I want to make sure I checked every single box. I got all the visa information. Because I would hate to find a place and I fall in love with it. And I find out that the regulations aren't the same as the country next door, because the way you can stay in, let's say, Tanzania isn't the same way you can stay in Kenya. And the way you can stay in South Africa may not be the same way you can stay in Botswana. So you have to make sure you've done your research as far as staying long term.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. Young Villain said, what country had the most non-pros to clubs? I mean, I asked first. I answer first. For
Yeah,
me,
go for it.
I,
That's
I,
you.
I think South Africa. I said South Africa number one, Kenya number two. I mean, what I've seen so far, like you know, what I'm saying because in South Africa, I mean, Yeah, it's not like South Africa because, like, I mean, most places you gotta realize, even in South Africa though, if you're a man, bro, it's your job to take care of the family, take care of your chick. That's normal in Africa. That's just normal. So all chicks can kind of want that stuff. The only countries that chicks not gonna want nothing from you are the countries that are making decent money. And South Africa is one of the places that it's a lot of chicks that if they get a good job, they're making decent money. So I would say South Africa, but is that really what you want? You know what I'm saying? Or do you want somebody you can take care of? You know what I'm saying? Or non-pros in the club because you're in a club. If she's in a club, and don't want nothing from you.
Yeah,
You know that means that
yeah,
she's still on a rah rah. She just don't need your money, but it's the same thing though. You
exactly,
know what I'm saying? So this you know what I'm saying? So think about what you asking, Playboy. We going on the questions now. Oh, you
exactly.
can answer
So
too if you want.
yeah, everything GMT said, I co-sign it. You know what I'm saying? What he's getting at is the fact that in order for a female, especially a young female, because I doubt you want a much older female, right? Um, so for a girl who's in her 20s, 30s, early 30s, or whatever, to be in a nightclub, certain things have to happen. Now, in America, they just happen and we take it for granted. Number one, it has to be a liberal culture, right? For there to be a lot of them. You know, of course, you can have a few non-pros in a nightclub anywhere, but to have a lot of them, it's got to be a liberal culture, number one. And then number two, for her to not want anything from you and not to be there looking for anything monetarily, that means she's got to have her own money, right? And so for her to have her own money, she's got to have a job. That means the economy has to be pretty good. And if she's got her own
Preach,
job, they work
preach.
way more than you probably assume. So it's going to be
We
hard to find
cooking.
time, you know, to hang out with her. You know what I'm saying? She's going to have to work in the morning if she's out in the club or
We
whatever.
cooking.
So, you gotta match it with like reality. You know what I'm saying? You're not really going to find a girl who's got like a Miami, and even Miami got a lot of pros, but you know what I'm trying to say? A girl who got like a Miami, just like, or Las Vegas, like party all the time, lifestyle, and she's a non-pro and she's not looking for anything from you, and she's in a third world country, like make that add up. You know, unless she's like the president's daughter or like somebody connected, like where she's upper middle class, then it's like, well, is she really
Oh
even going to
man.
be trying to talk to a foreigner, right? You know what I'm saying? If her status is like that and she just got bread, somebody drove her in a limo to the club or whatever, you know what I'm saying, in the rolls, then is she even going to want to mess with you? You know what I'm saying? So
We
yeah,
cooking, man. Cooking.
yeah, it's complicated. But long story short, the answer to your question is South Africa is going to have the closest thing to like what you know in the States, as far as like I go to a club, I meet a girl, I spit some game, and then whatever happens, happens. And you know, it's just all across the board. She got a job, that type of thing. South Africa is going to be the best place for that on the continent.
Hey, preach. You said any advice quickly on learning a language during your traveling? That's for you, bro. I can't. I'm from the
Wow.
south. I'm from the south, bro. I barely speak English good, bro. I can't. So this is you. This is I can't answer that on
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
bro.
I
It's you.
mean, anything that's good isn't going to be quick, right? That's everything in life. You know, you want a good girl, she's not going to be a quick girl. You want a good job, it's not going to be a quick job. You want a good education, it's not going to be a quick education, right? And that applies to language learning too. You know, can you speak a language quickly? Yes. Are you going to speak it good? Hell no. Um, that's everything. So you get what you put into everything in life. And the same with language learning. If you put in 15 minutes a day, in a year, you're going to speak a lot better than somebody who puts in 0 minutes a day, who puts in 15 minutes a week. You know what I'm saying? So look at it like it's a lifetime project, not like it's I got a trip in 2 weeks. I'm trying to learn this whole language in 2 weeks. That's not realistic. Um, I would say the best thing you can do is get started now. And I'm assuming that if you're trying to learn a language, you're probably talking about like a Latin language. I'm assuming you're talking about like French, Spanish, Portuguese. If you're talking about an African language, I don't know any African languages, so I can't really talk about that. I tried to learn Swahili a little bit, and it's hard, man. It is hard. I learned like 5 words, and in Tanzania, they wasn't impressed. They were like, "Nah, you need to speak more." They be really trying to make you speak Swahili and Tanzania. Shout out to
Swahili.
them. I'm not mad at them, man. Keep your culture. I'm not mad at you, but
Hey,
they really be like,
hey,
yo,
Kenya
you should
too,
know
bro.
more.
I know one word. Asante.
Asante, yeah, Asante Sana. Thank you very much. Asante is just thank
That's
you.
it.
Asante Sana very much.
That's all I know.
Karibu.
That's
I
all
know
I know.
Karibu. They say Karibu all day
Oh,
long
Kadibu,
in
Kadibu.
Tanzania.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kadibu,
they say
Kadibu.
Karibu.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, man, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So,
Hey,
Rosa V,
I said, do you have a girlfriend?
do I know you? Rosa sounds like a female. Sounds like a female name. I might know you and you came in under a different name. I don't know. You might be trying to throw me off or something.
That's crazy. It's a question. Which vacations given the recent tourism rise they had? Which
Man,
vacation plan?
man, they be capping so much. It be so much fake news, bro.
And we don't watch news. We don't care. We don't care who beefing. We don't care. We talk to the people, bro. We don't care.
Man, that stuff that stuff doesn't even factor in, man. That stuff doesn't even factor. I'm gonna go anywhere I want to go on earth. I'm gonna put it like that. Like I will go to Venezuela if I want to. And Venezuela is off the chain right now. If y'all don't know, I I don't want to say too much, but there's places that you aren't supposed to go as an American, and I went to some of those places. So if I want to go somewhere, I'm going. I'm gonna put it like that. Nothing's gonna stop me. If I really want to go somewhere, I'm gonna go.
I actually been to Venezuela before on my ship before. You know what I'm saying? I've been there before, and it's funny. I first started working on a boat. We were going to Venezuela and Colombia, and we were going to both places. I couldn't tell the difference when I was both like me. I was just having fun. I'll be paying attention, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize I could at first I couldn't tell the difference between Venezuela and Colombia at first, and then after years started going on, like Venezuela started going down, we couldn't go there no more, and then like
Mhm.
Colombia started going up. But at first, when I was first going there, and let me let you tell you the place I went. I was like 3 in Venezuela, and it felt like Colombia. Like I didn't feel
Yeah.
like a big difference. I was like it wasn't like a big difference to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And back to him with the rides, I landed in Nairobi in like the peak of the rides here, and it was cool. It's just
Yeah,
you
you
couldn't
can't
the
feel
Uber,
it.
the
If
Uber,
you're not in that area, it doesn't affect you.
yeah. The Uber was just tripping though. The Uber was trying to overcharge you. Like, nah, we need to pay us, so you need to pay us more. Only thing what happened was when I was in Nairobi doing the rides, and I was in the Western and Kilimani. You know,
Mhm.
so yeah. So all right. Oh shit, they trying to pocket watch you, players. How do you afford
Hey
to
man,
travel year round?
hey, what does it say in the Bible? Ask and ye shall receive, right? You've been to
Yeah,
church.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
you know that much. Everybody know that. Ask and you shall receive,
Hey,
man.
hey,
Hey,
what you want to do? What you want to do?
hey, they say in the Bible the Lord is a provider. So, somebody's providing for me, bro. Looking
All
out for
right.
me.
You said, what about the healthcare over there? What about healthcare when you get hurt in Africa or traveling?
So, my book is going to touch on that. I went through an experience where I didn't want to see what the healthcare system in Africa was like, but I did. I was forced to see what that is like up close and personal. And you want to make sure you're covered, especially if you're doing a longer trip like me. Now, if you're just in and out 1 week, 2 week, then I mean the odds something's gonna happen are very low. But if you spend 14 solid months in Africa, the odds are you are going to need some kind of medical at some point during that time, right? Because you're being exposed to different foods, different, bacteria all over and whatnot. And sometimes the sanitation level isn't the same as back home. So yeah, you are probably going to deal with something at some point. Travel insurance, there's some good international ones, so I would say research that before you take your flight. Especially like I said, if you're going to be journeying. Now, if you're just doing a 2 week thing, then you're probably going to be all right with whatever your state coverage is, back home.
All right, cool. That's what's up.
Mhm.
Are you planning on getting a second citizenship to a different country? Well, me, I'm gonna probably get it in Kenya. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you know what I'm saying? So how about you, Jay? You plan on getting another citizenship?
Yeah, it's interesting. So it depends. There's a lot of rumblings from different African countries that they're trying to, certain ones, usually it's the smaller ones that are a little bit more open to giving blacks from the diaspora a fast track to citizenship. Some of them, if you have lineage in the countries and you can prove it by DNA, like in Sierra Leone, for example, they will give you a passport and they will give you citizenship. You can own land there just like any citizen. You have all the same rights. There are other countries that are talking about doing it. Gabon is one. Namibia was talking about it. There's another one in Togo. Togo is talking about doing it. So, keep your eye open. Hopefully that will happen sooner than later. Could be in the next 5 years, they'll open those kind of things up to Black Americans. So I'm hoping for it.
Yeah. Citizenship, I feel like the best countries right now, if you have DNA in Sierra Leone, they give it to you in Sierra Leone. If you have DNA in Kenya, if you get married after 7 years, you get like a residency first, and then you get it like 3 years later. So and then in Kenya, compared to other countries, getting married doesn't really hurt you because you can still invest property and buy, and you won't lose half the stuff. Even though if you have a family, of course you're going to take care of your family, but you can't lose half of your wealth in a divorce.
You're not going to be paying spousal support like you can in the States.
In South Africa, though, they taking half of everything, though, just like America. That's one of the pros.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot. It's a stick and move. They jacking. They just like America on. They taking it all. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But as far as citizenship, South Africa is actually quite liberal when it comes to citizenship. They'll let you apply after 5 years. Only 5 years. Yeah, you can apply, but of course you got to be there legally. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sneak in. Like, I don't want to say any nationalities, but there's a lot of nationalities who show up in South Africa with like no paperwork,
or like Nigerians,
or some janky paperwork, or like they overstay their visa and then they can't just spend 5 years and then be like, yo, I'm trying to apply. Like, nah, you got to do it the right way. But yeah, I did some Googling and it seems like they'll actually give it to you. Like, so it's 5 years to apply and then you wait like 2 years, because you got to get in line because there's people ahead of you and stuff. But because South Africa is so westernized, they actually like the process is very transparent. Like, you don't have to bribe to get it. Now, in some other ones, there's rumors that like you could bribe your way to a passport or citizenship faster. But since I don't have direct experience, I'm not really going to speak to that. But you could do your own digging on that one.
All right, man. So next year, man, what's next year traveling? What's your roster? I know it might change, bro. So I'm not gonna hold you to it. But what's your roster next year for traveling?
Bro, I don't even know where I'm going next month. You asked me about next year. Yeah, I don't know where I'll be in 3 weeks. I'll put it like that. Usually it's what I do. Yeah, it's like that. Usually what I do is I plan out usually 6 months in advance. Like when I did this African trip for 14 months, I knew because I started last June is when I started. June 23 is when I started. So in June 23, I had already planned out that I was going to spend the New Year's in Namibia. Like I was, that whole rest of the year of 23 was planned out. And then after that, I planned like the next like 3 months or something after that. But right now, man, it's a big question mark, man. I might pop up in Morocco tomorrow. I might pop up in anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is off the table. I might pop up in Asia next month. You know what I'm saying? We'll see.
I agree with you, bro. I spent a lot of time in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain a little bit. And I had so much fun in those countries. When I'm in Africa, bro, I was like, bro, when I'm in North Africa, I'm like, I'd rather go to Dubai. But I feel like when I'm in Africa, I'd rather be in Dubai, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been in Morocco once. But it was briefly. And it was you might enjoy it, but it was like Uganda for me, so I gotta try it again. It was like 1 day though, so I can't day in and out, so I can't really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same with me. I've been in Morocco already, but I was there. So Gooch, yeah, I was in Morocco as well, and I was there like you, just like in and out. I spent 4 days. I was in Morocco, but it was different cities, so it was like 2 days in one city, and then like 2 or 3 days in another city. So I can't really speak about it because I didn't even spend a whole week in one city.
Yeah. Actually, been in Libya. I've been in Libya too before like everything happened with Gaddafi. So yeah,
Mhm.
but for me, North Africa, it just reminds me of the Middle East too much. And when I'm in them, like I was in the Middle East because I had so much good time in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Bahrain.
Mhm.
Because in Bahrain, it's the military base, and it's like the American alley, and like you can part of them. Then they got the Wranglers, the clubs and stuff. So it's like it's the vibe. It's cool. It's expensive, but you got your little American like comfort too. You know what I'm saying? And all the dudes that got Ethiopian and Bahrain, bro, all American dudes got Ethiopian girlfriends too. So you might
I,
check it out.
I bet. I believe it.
You say you can get your citizenship through investments from. Yep.
Yep.
The Casablanca is beautiful. Any more questions? We out here, man. Any country,
Yeah,
well
I can
traveled
stay.
Jews are here.
I can stay for 10 more minutes. So we at 150. We could go for 2 hours if y'all want us to stick around.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. 2 hours. Yeah, we already hit. We do 10 more minutes.
Yeah,
Why
we can
not, man?
hit that mark. Yep.
No, I'm talking about man. So I'm
Dude,
trying to think.
I'm trying to think where else. Like I said, it could be Morocco. It could be like I said, it could be Thailand. It could be Taiwan. I've been there before. Like a lot of places I've been to before, but I want to go and see them again. I even thought about Brazil because it's been over 10 years since I've been to Brazil. You know what I'm saying?
Go
So
back.
I'm sure it's different. DR too. Like I said, it's been over 10 years. I could be in DR next month. I don't know. I mean, we'll
I
see
agree with you, bro.
what
I agree with
happens.
you, bro. Your channel, you boom Africa, bro. This is the hardest market, bro. This is the hardest market.
It
You
is.
go back to Brazil, bro. Your shit gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
Because I want to do, because I got right now, I got too much. I got a lot of investments out here in Kenya.
mhm.
I got a lot of shit going on in Kenya. So next time I come here, it's gonna be a little bit later, but it's good. But I want to do Colombia in between that time and hit like Medellin like a few times just for content and have a good time too, though. You know what I'm saying? But for content
Yeah.
too, though. Just to let them know I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point. And I think a lot of viewers don't know that is like going to Africa is the riskiest place to go, and it's sometimes more expensive, and you don't get half the credit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to just go to Colombia, Brazil, and DR, hit that little
Right,
triangle, and rack your views up. Like
right,
if my whole
right.
goal was just like I want my YouTube channel to blow up, I would have done that years ago. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that was not my motivation to do this. Wasn't like I'm trying to blow up. Because bro, if I wanted to, I would have saved so much money. They would have been super chatting more had I been, talking about, DR and ass and all that stuff, man.
They don't understand, bro. It's way harder to do African content, but way
Yeah.
harder.
'Cause they
Like
don't share it as much either. They don't share as much African stuff. I mean, we in the trenches, man, and we're pioneers a lot of times because, me and
hey,
you, we were some of the first guys to go to Kenya, when it wasn't
yeah,
like a
yeah,
sure
yeah, yeah.
thing. Like now, anybody and their mama can type Kenya African American in YouTube, and they're gonna get, it's endless videos. When we came out here, we was just going off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? And South Africa, same
Oh, all
thing.
right. That's my mic scratching. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, cool. But yeah, man. Yeah, you exactly right, man. When I very first came out here, there was nobody here, and it's easy. Yeah, and it's easy. It's easy to go viral in Latin America. Very
Yeah,
easy.
very.
Very easy. And that's why I came to Colombia. That's why I came. Medellin, I'm probably do like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm probably 2 or 3 weeks. See, you don't get this in Colombia. My chick, she fixing my drink right now,
I see
and
you,
she hear me
player.
talking crazy.
I
And she
see
hear
you,
me
player.
talking crazy. Only in Africa, bro. Only in Africa, not in Colombia. But I still love Colombia, though. I can't wait to go back to Medellin, bro. I'm gonna probably do Medellin next year. While cause I got investments and all stuff going on over here, and I don't want to rush to come back because I want to make sure everything is good when I really come back. But I'm probably do some Colombia early next year. Bro. Stack money, I'll hit Colombia up, and when I come to Africa, I'm coming for at least 4 months, 4 or 5 months. I'm not coming for a little
Yeah,
while.
yeah, that's the way to do it, man, for sure.
They asking they say how's the nightlife in Cape Town?
That's on you. That's you.
Cape Town, I only did Durban and Joburg. So Playboy, if you want Durban or Joburg, I can tell you Durban is slow during the week. It's like one club, Villa is Tuesday or Wednesday. I like Villa, and besides that, you got to go to people don't really party in Durban,
Mhm.
Florida Road. Florida Road was the spot, but it kind of fell off. Now everybody party up north in it's a U. It's
Okay.
the north. I can't pronounce it. You know, I'm
Well,
from the south. I can't
Umhlanga.
pronounce it.
You're talking about
Oh
Umhlanga.
yeah. There
Yeah.
you go, Durban.
Yeah, you put me
That's where
on.
everybody
You put
party at.
me on. Umhlanga.
I had
Yeah.
a good time out there. Yeah. I had a good time. Black. It was like another bar I went to out there. A few clubs had a real good time in Durban. But Cape Town, bro, I can't tell you. But what I do, people told me I haven't been there. Their CBD is popular. It's the only place I ever heard that CBD is like the lit area. So everybody
Mhm.
goes to the CBD, and it's Long Street.
Exactly.
You are in Cape Town.
Yeah, I stayed there. I was on Long Street. Like I stayed a block off of Long Street. Yep.
How was it? How was Long Street?
It it was an international vibe. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't so much a African, but it was different, man. So Cape Town, if you guys don't know, is very touristy too. So especially in the summertime when I went, which was what, January? Yeah, I was there in January. That's when a lot of Europeans come down. You know what I'm saying? So it's already a lot of European people, heritage in Cape Town, and then you got a lot of them, coming for tourism and stuff. So it's a different vibe. I didn't go out as much as I probably should have in Cape Town, so I'm not like the expert on it. But most of the guys that we talked to, we got a lot of mutual friends. A lot of them liked it. You know what I'm saying? They were able to come up on something out there. Just like in the States. If you can come up on something in the States, you will get
Yeah.
to Cape Town and it'll be like +1. Whatever you could do in Houston, whatever you could do in Atlanta, whatever you could do in Baltimore, put a +1 on it. That's how it's going to feel when you hit the nightlife in Cape Town. Because the attitudes are maybe there a little bit, but it's like a joke compared to the States attitudes. You know what I'm saying? So like it's more like
Yeah.
it's more like chatter. That's all it is. It's just chatter. You know what I'm saying? So you might get some like little funniness, and you're like, we in Africa? Like it's kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? But that's all it is. You just brush it aside, and you're still gonna have a great time. Like they're gonna feel your energy. It's different that you're American, and they're gonna show you some love out there.
All right, man. Yeah, man. We about to close up. We closed up at 2 hours. Hey, man, Jay, man. I'm glad you came on, told you the whole story. I'm glad you sharing. We went to Asia, Latin America, Africa.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. Let everybody know they can reach you at what you got going on. Just all you play, boy, man.
All right. So, shout out to my guy, GMT Travels, for hosting this whole event, because certain people be telling me to do more lives, and he pulled it out of me. He was like, Jay, I need you. We're going to do it Monday or Tuesday. So I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, I be in travel mode. So it's hard for me sometimes to schedule live. So I was like, yeah, Tuesday for sure. I know I'm going to be settled. I'm going to have good Wi-Fi. That's another reason, guys, why I don't go live as much, is because sometimes I'll be in certain countries and I don't want to give y'all like a low quality product. I don't want to give you all a live stream where it's like glitching or like, the resolution isn't good. I'm still new with doing this. And so when I do it, I want to be confident that the stream is like, no hiccups, nothing like that. So hopefully this one, there were no hiccups. Everything was good on my side, the video, the audio, etc. We working on it. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Y'all know the channel is J Focused IG, J Focused with a 1 at the end. Very easy. All right, until next time, this was your guy, Jay Focus, reminding you to stay focused.
Hey.
Like that, we out.
Hey, we out, Playboy, man. Hey, y'all stay blessed, man. We out, man. It was a great live, man. One love, man. Peace.